If you cannot pull the wool over my eyes, how do you expect to fool all of Scotland? I'll take care of myself, Huntley. And of Mary. Scotland can point no finger at her if I marry her this way, against her will. Marry her? Aye, why not? You're mad. You're both mad. I'd rather be dead, lassie, than see this night ever come. You're the Queen of Scotland, and you let the woman in you blind your senses. Why, he's not even of our faith. You've always stood by that until now. If you go on with this make-believe, there's naught but disaster ahead of you. She has nothing to do with it, I tell you. If you feel that way, Huntley, draw your sword against me. I'll not draw mine against any friend. You'll have no friend. Here, lassie, take this, and turn it on yourself if what you speak is true. There's honor in that escape. You may go if you wish, Huntley. Go back to Edinburgh. Join Murray and the rest. Stir up the clans against me. No, they'll do that themselves. You'll put yourselves in Murray's power again. 3 o'clock and all's well.
Are you afraid, my Mary?
I'll send you back with Huntley.
Why? From the very beginning, I've always belonged to you. I knew it. How vast the night is. How bright and wonderful. I've never seen it like this.
Nor I. Look there. Make a wish.
I have. They say there's a star for each of us. I used to imagine that when I was born, God put a dark star in the sky. Star nobody could ever see, not even me. And then one night I'd see a flash of light. And I'd see my star, but it would be falling, and I'd be gone.
Dark or bright, I'll always follow your star, Mary.
It was dark because I didn't really exist at all. I was a dream, and I was the one who was dreaming it, too. That's absurd, isn't it? Perhaps I didn't really exist until I met you.
All right.
There was a memory of being a child in a country like this. And then they told me that my father was dead. And I cried. And they told me that I was Queen of Scotland. It didn't mean as much to me as my dolls. And then I was very important. Not to myself, but to grown-up people. And then one day I caught a glimpse of my star. And they took me away at night on a ship. It was all so strange that the sea vast like this. The world seemed enormous. And then we came to another land and they told me it was France. Everything different, people singing, laughing. They were all happier. I learned to love it all. After a while I began to think that I'd only dreamed Scotland, but I'd go on forever playing in a garden, learning French, studying, hearing music, talking to 4 wise old men who were my uncles. One of them was the Cardinal of Lorraine. I liked him best. He was always telling me that I would marry the son of the King of France when I grew up. That seemed silly. He was just a boy. We used to fight, and then I'd chase him, and he'd run away.
I was in France when you married me. I've never forgotten all the pomp and ceremony, and the great crowd before the cathedral, and the pages carrying your long train. You weren't even old enough to be out of short dresses.
I was 16. It was just an arrangement. And then one day his father was killed in a tournament. And everyone made a great fuss over me. And I was Queen of France. But before I could realize it all, he died too, poor boy. And then I was queen no longer. And then I came back to my old dream, to Scotland. I was never in love. You know that.
Ego coniugo vos in matrimonium, in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
So, she summons all Scotland to take up arms for her. Will they come?
Only a rabble of moss troopers from the border, where Bothwell's strength lies.
Mercenaries, they won't stand up and fight. Where's the child?
Abducted by Moray. They'll not harm her son. Moray's strength depends on making him king and ruling as regent till he comes of age. The lords have won most of Scotland to their cause by convincing John Knox that Bothwell and the Queen murdered Darnley to get him out of their way. Knox thunders it into the people. And after all, what greater proof of their guilty love than this reckless marriage?
And I believed I'd failed.
We shall soon know, Your Majesty. The lords are marching on Edinburgh, and they outnumber Bothwell's defenders 5 to 1.
Into what pit of abomination have ye fallen? 'Tis not the true banner of Scotland that ye follow, but the blood-red banner of murder and treason. Remember, a king of Scotland cries out from his grave to be avenged. And will you... Bothwell, and will you defend the guilty queen? Open the gates for the host of the righteous. Open the gates!
Are you afraid, Mary?
Yes. Terrible, terrible.
Oh, that's not my Mary.
I'm only afraid for you.
Then you're not afraid at all.
Flag of truce!
Bowing comes with a bad grace from traitors.
We are not in arms against you, my sister. Only him.
Before you state your conditions, Moray, I'll state mine. We'll decide the issue by single combat between you and me. Or anyone else you and the other traitors wish to appoint.
No, they'll find some way to